Alexander Gustafsson is getting a title shot against Daniel Cormier on the main card of UFC 192 despite losing his last fight. Cormier, of course, is a big favorite, and we will analyze these odds right now with Nick Kalikas from MMAOddsbreaker.com and our call-in guest, Mike James from MMAOddsbreaker Premium. You're watching SBR Videos, and I'm Peter Loshak. All right, Mike James, Gustafsson, kind of a brutal loss his last time out, and as a reward for that, he gets a title shot against Cormier. Right now, the odds are Cormier minus 340, Gustafsson on the other side, plus 280. Is Gustafsson going to shock the world and get a win here as a big underdog?
And a simple answer, no.
Okay.
Basically, I was pretty much surprised, just like everyone else was when he was given the title shot. I think everyone was expecting Ryan Bader to get the shot. Cormier and Bader were booked to fight in June before Cormier was pulled to fight Anthony Johnson when Jones was stripped of the title. When people are relating too much from the Gustafsson and Jones fight, from everything I've heard, Jones trained for about 2 weeks for that fight, and he wasn't in the best shape for that fight. I expect Cormier to be all over him on that fight. I don't expect Gustafsson to be able to utilize that range and reach advantage to when he is on the feet. I think he's going to be getting pressed up against the cage and then getting taken down and pretty much ridden from top position, and that's very tiring. You have an Olympic level wrestler, carrying that weight for 2, 3, 4, even 5 rounds. That can tire anybody out. So I expect Cormier to get it done, but at the current price, that's a pretty steep price to pay, because Gustafsson does have some advantages in this fight. He is the better striker. He has the length. He has the reach. So, it is a tough fight, in some ways, but I do expect Cormier to pull it out.
All right, Nick Kalikas, Cormier's got to be a huge public side, right?
Yeah, he is. I opened it minus 280, and they've, of course, bet it up a little bit, too. And I thought, 280, the way they match up and considering the little triangle of fights between Jon Jones and them both, that that Gustafsson would get a little bit of respect at least, but not really the case. And I do understand it because stylistically it is a tough fight for Gustafsson, even though he did so well against Jon Jones. I think everybody's based a lot of things regarding Gustafsson on that fight with Jon Jones. Now, of course, before that, though, he went on a heck of a run, and he's definitely one of the best light heavyweights in the world, no doubt about it. But is he as good as we're all giving him credit for? I mean, this is obviously going to answer the question right here because Cormier is a stud, and the only person that really ever challenged him thus far really was Jon Jones.
Right.
And he hung in there, did well against Jon Jones. A lot of people believe that Gustafsson did better, but the way these guys match up here, even though Gustafsson has had some success in the wrestling department, he's gotten better in that area, he's still going to get taken down. I mean, Cormier is a beast as far as his wrestling background goes. We all know his credentials that he brings to the table. But the thing is not just what he's accomplished in his career with wrestling. It's how it's translated into the octagon. I mean, and he just ragdolls people. He's got obviously the technique, the power to get the job done and to get most people on the ground and control them. And I think that this is going to be the same type of situation here because if Gustafsson is able to sprawl and brawl and keep his distance and use that length, then of course he's going to be able to have some success against Cormier on the feet, no doubt about it. But can he finish him? I don't know, man. Anthony Johnson hits like a truck. Obviously, he has that win over Gustafsson. He knocked Gustafsson out, and he wasn't able to knock Cormier out, which is shocking because he clipped him so hard a few times in that fight, kicks, punches, and he didn't get rid of him. So I think that Cormier probably will survive even if it does stay up a little bit, and eventually, even if he has struggles a little bit at times, he's going to get the fight to the floor. And once he does, he is going to be able to dominate the ground. Now, the decision thing that you guys were just talking about as well, I agree with Mike. I think along the way it's dangerous because Cormier might take his back, and if he gets his back, he could probably sub him.
So it sounds like then the books are going to need a Gustafsson, and they'll take a loss if Cormier wins, and that's not a good situation for the books.
Yeah, not really. But again, where the line is now, I don't think we're going to get too carried away because there will be some decent action coming in on Gustafsson, no doubt about it. I mean, just think about all the European bettors that are going to be back in their man. They're going to think for sure, look, Gustafsson did better against Jones. He's going to go out here. He's a good matchup against Cormier. They're going to kind of argue the whole fact, and there's going to be some heavy action there as well. I just think overall, we're still going to probably need Gustafsson to pull off the win because of the parlay action that's going to come in and continue to come in, and then just the stylistic matchup. And Cormier, besides Jones, honestly, it's hard to argue that he's not the second best in the world. And right now, got to give him the respect. He is the champion. I mean, he's wearing that strap, and he deserves it.
All right, well, this fight's going to be a pass for Mike James. The books, though, are going to need Gustafsson. Thanks, guys.